baby. Many of you never had experience with the iPad. It's new to some of your parents. Good of you. I'm just going to go over, give a little talk about what the iPad is, some of its capabilities, show you a few things about it. This story talks about how this is a new technology. We're on the cutting edge, and that's true. But I think maybe some people had this in mind already. Think back to the mid-1800s. They went to school. What did they bring with them? An iPad. And it even flips the other way, just like this iPad. So, you know, at the time, this was cutting-edge technology. I don't know, suppose they had the same kind of meeting here, but I can just envision parents saying that they're bringing home what? A slate and chalk? You know, someday this iPad will be to that generation what the slate is to us today. So you know, we're out there on the cutting edge, but it's exciting. It's a little bit scary because, as Mr. Shorey said, we're the first school here to do it in the state. We don't have a lot of people to ask, how do you do it? We're making this stuff up, which from the technology aspect, I find exciting, but it's also a little scary. We're learning this. My department, we spent the last 6 months working on how we're going to implement this into our system, security, various things. So we think we've got it, but I'm sure when it actually is time to roll these out, we're going to find issues that we never thought of. It's going to be a little rough at first, I expect, but we're going to find answers and we'll get through this. I mean, you all, you know, at one time or other, this was new technology. And you know, people had to learn how to use it. We don't think too much about learning how to use a book these days, but you know, at one point, someone had to teach you how to use a book.
Ja, hva gjør du? Ja, det er den her. Ja, jaha. Ja, så den, jeg har ikke gjort noen ting hele formiddagen. Nei, jeg beklager det. Man må legge opp til et helt system, da skal alle ha ett på en gang. Ja. Så kan du ikke inn, eller? Nei, den ligger der. Har du forsøkt å åpne den? Ja, åpne den, altså hvis det hadde vært så enkelt, så hadde jeg blitt tenkt at det er litt. Skal det vel? Nei. Du har lyst på en plan? Nei, da skal jeg se. Bare gjør... Nei. Sånn? Ja, er du i gang? Ja, så langt kom jeg også. Ok. Men så stoppet det opp, og så var jeg redd for at noe av teksten skulle forsvinne, så jeg turte å gå videre. Åja, ok. Nei, men du skjønner, inni her, så ligger det kanskje flere 100 sider med laget tekst. Så for å komme videre, så tar du tak i et ark, på den måten her, og så blar du over på neste side sånn, da fortsetter teksten der. Jeg blar, altså. Du blar, ja. Men jeg skal tilbake da. Ja, da bare blar du tilbake igjen. Ta tak der. Og så der. Så er du tilbake til den teksten du hadde sagt. Ok, så den slutter der. Og så fortsetter den der. Ok, men når jeg skal avslutte da, hva gjør da? Ja, bare slår du sammen permene. Ja. På den måten der. Sånn. Da er lukket her. Ligger alt lagret inni der. Altså, jeg risikerer ikke å miste noe av teksten her. Nei, det blir lagret inni her. Ja, det tilfeller seg på fyr på, eller ja, det er kanskje litt sånn. Okay. For det er noe med det, når du har holdt på med skriftrulle, så tar det litt tid å konvertere til å bla i en bøk. Ja. Ja, men du vet det før det går. Bare gå igjen en gang til. Så jeg åpner sånn, og så, hva du kaller det? Jeg blar frem og tilbake, og når jeg er ferdig, så bare lukker jeg den. Flott, litt der, kjempefint. Ja, men du, nei, ikke sant? Nå er det som det ene, for jeg ikke åpnet den. Ja, du har feil siden. Du åpner fra den siden. Så det er ikke litt givelig, det, altså? Åpner fra den siden her, sånn. Der nå. Ja vel. Har du lest manualen, eller? Oh ja, den ja. Ja, ja, men liksom det er jo samme problemet. Får det ikke opp.
So, a little humor there. I can picture some of the parents and our kids being the tech support and how they must be frustrated with us when we don't get what's going on. But in 1984, schools had an average of 1 computer per 92 students. Today, nationwide, there's 1 computer for every 4 students. I wish I had some statistics on Maine, because it's got to be higher with the laptop program. I mean, it's going to be one-to-one. Everybody's going to have some kind of a computing device. We chose the iPad rather than a full-blown desktop or a laptop. And why did we choose that? As Mr. Shorty pointed out, there's cost savings. It's not a full-blown computer. You can't do everything a computer can do, but it can do a majority of the stuff that you can do with your computer. So it makes a good fit for, like I said, bridging that gap between the laptops in middle school here. There's really not too much on them. There's minimal buttons. There's a home button. If you get somewhere where you don't know where you're going, you push the home button. It brings you back here. There's a power button on the end to turn it off and on. There's a volume button on the side, and there's a lock button to keep the screen from locking. And that's really it. There's not a whole lot of other parts to it. There's an output for the video, like I'm using on this one here, and also output for the audio. But it's very simple. Not going to be a big learning curve on how to use these because they're very, very simple to operate. So when you get an iPad, I don't know how many of you will be able to see this, but when you get it out of the box, you bring it home, you turn it on, this is what it looks like. It just has a screen that, pop it on here, I think it will show up in this mode. Well, it wants to connect. Well, this isn't a whole lot of very useful to us here at the school because the first thing it wants to do is connect to a computer, and when you hand these out on day one, not everybody's going to have a computer to activate them and get them working. So we've gone through the summer and actually activated every one of them so that they're at their very basic mode, which is this right here. This is what a new iPad comes with for software, for applications, just this minimal set of applications. So when the students get this, this is what it's going to look like in their hands. A little bit about the specs of an iPad. They weigh just a little over a pound. They have a 9-inch screen on them. They have, for the techie people, they have a 1 gigahertz dual-core processor. So pretty fast, pretty impressive processor in such a little piece of equipment. They have 16 gigabytes of memory for storage. They have 2 cameras. There's one on the front up here, and there's one on the back right here in the corner. The one on the front is a standard camera. The one on the back is a high-definition camera. They have a 10-hour battery life, so for normal use, they should be able to get 10 hours, or if a student brings this charged, they should be able to have it all day long. There's the video output, which I talked about. They have Wi-Fi, so they're wireless, connect to the network. They have Bluetooth, so if you want to connect an external keyboard, you can connect that to it. And one of the neat features of these, which you really can't see unless you're up close, is that they're already printed with property of Foxcroft Academy. So, do we know if it's one of our iPads? If somebody happens to find one somewhere, they look on the back. It says property of Foxcroft Academy. You can do much of what you normally do with an iPad, with a computer, normal computer on your iPad. iPad in here. This is a huge feature, just to be able to plug into a projector and project on the screen like this. With no hassle. You can plug a regular laptop or desktop into a projector. Sometimes the hassle to get the screen to come. This it just doesn't. What we can do on here, we can read books. We have programs for taking notes. We can browse the web. We can send and receive email. We can take pictures. There you all are. We can record video. We have a calendar that we can manage, our calendars. So here I can see, I've added multiple calendars. I can see, looking here, I've got some of my personal stuff, and I've also got field hockey schedule. You get lost, you want to find your way, it says maps, it's right in here. So you can see where we are here at Foxcroft Academy. If we want to find someplace, we can type in an important place like Tim Hortons, and it will show us all the Tim Hortons nearby. So there's quite a bit of stuff that comes on it just as it is. But with that, it's cool, but it's really that powerful. Not really, but what is cool about it is you can download apps. Apps are just applications. Apps are short for applications, software that you can download off Apple's iTunes iStore. And there's thousands of different pieces of software out there, of apps that you can download and use for productivity. Mr. Pratt will show you some more of those. And he's up here, I think.
But not Angry Bird.
We want to look at yours and see if it has Angry Bird down? I didn't think so. So the teachers are going to be requiring certain apps for the students to use during class. And some apps are free, some apps are not free. Any application, any app that is required by a teacher, we will provide what's called a redemption code so that the student can download it. They don't have to pay for it. If we require it, we pay for it. And what's really cool about that is that we pay for it, and just the way the Apple Store is set up, that is their application. If they decide to, when they're done school here, get their own iPad, they still have that application. It's gifted to them. So if they get paid, use the word processing. When they leave school, they leave here, they go and buy their own iPad or iPod or whatever the device is in 3 or 4 years. They still have that application. They can take that with them. So it stays with them, which is kind of neat.